Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday. I trust that everything is going right. And guys, listen, man, we are here. It is Monday, December 16th. We got just a little time, a little juice left to squeeze back through before the year's over, man. Some of us are gearing up for the holidays. Heck, some of us are already in holiday mode and we're not even talking to anybody. And guys, if that's you, I trust that you earn the right to do that. Mm, and not just took off anyway. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're here, I trust that means you are working. So I come to bring you some value today, guys. Welcome to the Grow Show. Each and every day, each and every week, we talk about some foundational principles. Our foundation this week is the bold law: your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. Who you surround yourself with shows up in that P&L, right? Who is in your world, the content you consume, the people you listen to, the people in your corner tend to reflect that bank account sometimes. So we're going to dive into that this week. We're going to dive into that specifically today and talk about some points, maybe some strategies that we can use to build that higher, man, to make sure that we are honoring the truth in that bold law. Guys, also our DTD2 system, we are talking to the people of the last names of I and Q. I and Q. Call them, beep them if you want to reach them. Make sure that you are sharing that love, that holiday spirit. And listen, guys, it is December 16th. So if your communication is straight relational, that's okay. As long as we are still making the reps, making the dials. Remember, as Susan Scott says in Fierce Conversations, the conversation is the relationship. The conversation is the relationship. So don't sleep on the power of just a simple relational text, a relational call. Our job is to be in emotional proximity of people when it comes time for them to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. Now, if we're not talking to them, they're probably talking to somebody else. We're going to sell sub 4 million homes this year, in the threes, the lowest in like 30 years. It is very fair, I think, to say that there are some hungry real estate agents out there. And if you ain't careful, they're going to be dating your database. So make sure that the only person bringing them Christmas cheer this year is you and not another real estate agent. Fair enough? All right, let's get into the content today, guys. So we're talking about your network is your net worth. How does that show up? Well, I've got 3 points that I'm going to go over, and then I'm going to send you and release you into the wild today. Number 1, your circle shapes your standards. Your circle shapes your standards. Guys, if you are surrounded by driven people, you will in turn become driven. If you stay with the lame people, you will develop a limp. Think about that. If you hang out with lame people, you'll develop a limp, man. If you hang out with driven people, you'll be driven. There's tons of different quotes, different mindsets, different sayings on this, different talks about it. And one of the ones I love is, man, if you hang out with 5 happy people, you'll be the 6th. If you hang out with 5 depressed people, you'll be the 6th. If you hang out with 5 millionaires, you'll be the 6th. If you hang out with 5 poor people, you'll be the 6th. Jim Rome said it so well. He said, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. Guys, it is 2024 now, about to be 2025. Sometimes the people that we're hanging out with the most aren't actually in the room. Sometimes it's the podcasts we listen to, the TV shows we watch, the music we're listening to, the social media we're watching. Remember, the UK did a study and people scroll the length of the Eiffel Tower 3 times over on social media each day. What are you consuming? What are you listening to? Are the people you're hanging out with the most on your phone? Something to think about as we move into this new year. Guys, here's another study for you. The New England Journal of Medicine found that if a person's close friends are obese, they have a 57% more likely chance of becoming obese themselves. If you lay down with dogs, you're going to get fleas, right? That's what mama always said. That's that Cajun wisdom coming at you today on a Monday. Guys, here's another one. The National Bureau of Economic Research found that individuals with high achieving peers were more likely to pursue and attain success themselves. Now, what I'm not telling you to do is people who aren't successful, they don't belong in your world. How dare them? Get away, peasants. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying be careful and be cognizant of who you're spending the most time with. I'm saying be careful of the boundaries that you have in your relationships because they can build you up or they can break you down. Here's an action item for you on this one with your circle shaping your standards. Do an audit. Guys, you've heard some of this stuff before. That's because it's a foundational principle that we believe in. It matters who you're spending time with. It matters who you're spending time with, especially when it comes to the holidays. And a lot of us are getting together, maybe going home, spending time with friends and family and people from the past. Be careful. Be careful. Put up some mental boundaries there. Put up some relational boundaries there. It is okay to miss people. It is okay to love people from afar. Make sure that you are paying attention to this. The next one that I have for you, number 2, access to opportunities tends to come through relationships. Access to opportunities tends to come through relationships. Social networks don't just shape your attitude, they can open doors to literal, tangible opportunities. Guys, research on professional networking highlights that well connected individuals enjoy increased access to job prospects, to partnerships, and to mentorship opportunities. Think about that. Your circle, the people who are mentoring you, they don't just happen. You have to go find those opportunities. You have to go seek out these mentors. You have to play offense instead of defense, guys. Everything that I have found in my life, it didn't just happen. I had to go seek and be humble and find myself in those rooms and go make those rooms if they didn't exist. We have to be proactive in our pursuit of these partnerships, of these mentorships, because our network determines our net worth. Guys, LinkedIn, 85%. LinkedIn found that 85% of jobs are filled through networking. That's almost all of them. Are you being a master networker? Have you ever heard of a little company called PayPal? One of the biggest financial companies in the world, man. PayPal's early success came from what they called the PayPal Mafia. It was a group of founders, right? And these founders, they came together and they poured into each other and they challenged each other and they held each other accountable and they pulled resources. These people went on to start Tesla. They went on to start YouTube, LinkedIn, right? Success leaves clues. Are you surrounding yourself with the right people? Another thing that we say is if you want to fly like an eagle, don't hang around a bunch of turkeys. It's a fact, Jack. Guys, are you treating networking like a skill? Here's one thing I want you to keep in mind when we talk about networking, we talk about access to opportunities comes through relationships. A good rule of thumb to think about is go find someone who's a step 2, maybe tops 3 ahead of you. Those are the people who are going to work like a vacuum and kind of pull you into the next opportunity. Where we struggle sometimes, and speaking for myself, is if I was to say, hey, you know what? I think the person who belongs in my network is Gary Keller. He should be my best friend and my mentor. That's probably not going to happen because Gary is so far ahead of me right now. I need to go find a mentor, a coach, a relationship, a group that is a step, maybe 2 ahead. That way we have more to talk about. That way I can get more action items to do. I can follow in their footsteps a little closer. So go seek these opportunities out, man. Are you treating networking like a skill? Are you attending events? Are you leveraging platforms? Are you maintaining authentic connections? Are you offering value before asking for help? I think that's foundational. It's a huge principle. Guys, and here's the thing, if there's no room at the table, serve water. If there is no room at the table for you yet, serve water. You need to humble that ego. Go seek out and offer value first. We come with our hands full before we make the ask. So I want you to remember that access to opportunities comes through relationships. Are we treating it as that high of a priority on our daily tasks, on our calendar? I truly believe that real estate agents should be attending at least one or two black tie affairs each year. Here's why. Usually, black tie affairs, tuxedo events, charity events, balls, those have people with, more often than not, disposable income. More often than not, those people are the net worths that you're looking to be around and surround yourself with. When you go in there, you need to be acting like the mayor and shaking hands and kissing babies and go getting outside of your comfort zone, outside of your shell. Use the old Kyle Evans play. Hey, we're friends now. Tell me about yourself. Guys, when you start getting into these conversations, man, be you. Like I'm not telling you to go and seek networking out and put on a mask and be something different than yourself. That's not what I'm saying. I want you to be you, but I want you to be proactive about seeking these places out. My coach asked me long ago, said, Kyle, what rooms do you want to be in? And I didn't even have the answer. And then she said, Emily Baker, hashtag shout out. She said, do you think that's why you're not in them? You don't even know which rooms. That's probably why you're not in them. Guys, have we taken the time to identify the groups or the networks that we desire to be in? And once we identify them, are we adding the action step to it? Are we going seeking them out? Are we dropping that humility? Number 3, emotional and psychological benefits of your network. Guys, Harvard, one of the premier learning organizations in the world, right? I think we can all agree with that. Harvard has an 80-year study, 8 decades, a study of adult development. What they found was the quality of relationships was the most significant predictor of happiness and life satisfaction. The quality of relationships was the most significant predictor of happiness, y'all, and satisfaction of your life. Are you treating it with that much importance? Or are you just sitting around saying, man, I wish this and I wish that and I hope this happens? We have to go take charge of our life. Dr. and I'm going to butcher his name, but it's okay. Dr. John Cassiopo. He's a leading social neuroscientist, and he found that social isolation increases the risk of depression, cognitive decline, and even premature death. Guys, human beings, we are wired as tribal creatures. We are wired as social creatures. We have to go seek out relationships, and we have to go seek out relationships that behoove us, that benefit us, that raise us up. Another bold law that we've talked about on this show is your circle can either create a cage or people that can lift you up. Are you paying attention to this? Are you treating it with that much importance? Guys, toxic relationships can drain you. If you've ever gotten out of a bad relationship before, platonic or, not platonic, have you ever realized like how different it is once you get some distance there? Guys, sometimes you're running with anchors and you don't even realize it. So, my challenge to you this week, this month, this year coming up is starting to take control, starting to take ownership of the relationships that you keep, of the ones that you spend the most time in, of where you put your energy and your focus. It is that important. It's going to show up in your P&L. It's going to show up in your bank account. It's going to show up in the opportunities that you have. Some ideas around this that I want you to consider as we move forward here is 5 things. Number 1, as we're seeking out these networks, as we're working on networking as a skill, is I want you to be authentic. Gratitude is one of the highest forms of energy. One of the things that they have found is authenticity is one of the most attractive forms of energy. So make sure that you are being you. By the way, when you're not being you, that in itself is draining. It is okay for everyone not to like you. It is okay. Go find your people. Go find the people that you mesh with, that you connect with. Go find the people that lift you up. Number 2 is engage consistently. Engage consistently. Guys, the strengths of your relationships more often than not is going to come down to the frequency of which you engage in them. Are you talking to people frequently enough? Are you talking to the people you desire to be like frequently enough? The ones you desire to, the rooms you desire to be in, are you knocking on that door frequently enough? I got some advice from someone the other day, and we were talking about someone that I desire to be like and emulate more in business. And they said, stay in their inbox. I said, what? And she said, stay in their inbox. Be that annoying fly that doesn't go away. The frequency matters. So make sure that we are engaging consistently. The next one, number 3, is create value. There's a guy, his name's Alex Hermosi, is a famous entrepreneur, influencer, wisdom guy. And he talks about this, man. He says, I hate when people come to me and say, what can I do for you to be in your world? He's like, I don't want to answer that. I don't have the time to answer that, because if I've answered that, I've probably already hired somebody to do it. So you've got to come and create value and offer the predetermined value to them. Solve a problem for them. Don't ask them for a problem to solve. Come be proactive. So make sure that we are creating value. The next one, number 4, is leverage technology. Hey guys, hey boomers, tech's here. It's here to stay. AI, social media platforms, YouTube. We have to start leveraging technology. It is that important. It also makes reaching out and being in other people's world that much easier. Guys, if you're utilizing command, there's so many touches that can be automated and sent out so you can stay in those inboxes, stay in those messages that much more and that much easier. It is time to start leveraging technology at a high level. And the last one, I cannot stress this one enough, join mastermind groups. Join mastermind groups. I have learned so much as a husband, as a dad, as an entrepreneur, as a health journey by joining certain mastermind groups, joining certain groups of people. The conversations are different. You have to understand this. Guys, I was not this person 10 years ago, 12 years ago. I wasn't, because the conversations I was having on a daily basis, the groups of people I was surrounding myself with, was different. If you're not where you desire to be yet in business or in life, start paying attention to who you're surrounding yourself with. If you don't like the surroundings, move your feet, change them, go get into a different room. I want you to understand this final thought on this segment. The company you keep doesn't just reflect who you are. It predicts who you will become. The company you keep doesn't just reflect who you are. It predicts who you will become. Are you treating it with that much intensity, that much focus, that much importance? Guys, your network will determine your net worth. Now, listen, before I let you go, I want to remind you that MAPS is offering holiday calls, free holiday calls. There's 16, 17, maybe even 20 of them now. They're going to be going on all week long. I'm going to drop the link here in the chats thread so you can see it. Sign up for it, man. It's free. If you want to be in different rooms, here's your time, man. If you're looking for some holiday juice or some info, man, go surround yourself in some of these courses, some of these free calls, and get poured into. If you are looking to shift your mindset, I know a guy, cough, cough, Kyle Evans, who's doing one of these calls tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central. So sign up. I'll see you there. And hey, I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early on the Grow Show. Go get some today, people. It ain't Christmas yet. We still got working days to do. Let's go earn that time off. Kyle Evans, I will see you later.